Okay, so let's get in particular about this guy. Let's look at the hood. One thing I did find with the hood is you put it on and immediately it doesn't sit as well as the original bush shirt. It already covers my eyes. Now I've done it up and tried it all different ways, but when this hood is zipped onto the collar, it comes down pretty low on the eyes. What you can do the tab up. Didn't mention that before. Both of them have a neck tab. Do the tab up. That's done up properly, and it's covering my eyes. It's quite restricted to the vision, so just pull the draw cords and pull it back. Yeah. So a simple fix, yeah. But if you're walking along and doing your work, whatever it is you're wearing this thing for, this thing is going to keep coming forward and it's going to keep blocking your vision. So you're going to be doing this a lot. You can be pulling it back quite a bit as you're moving around. So not a particularly nice function that I saw. So I found a way around it. Let's see. The hood can be unzipped while you're still wearing it, which is nice. So my way around it is when I'm wearing the hood, have the collar up. And just pull it up over the collar. Just put it on, don't zip it up or anything. Just have it over the collar. And she sits better. What happens is this hood now sits much lower on the neck. It's sitting just above my shoulders and it's pulled it up quite nicely. Do the tab, do the drawstrings up. I can never find them. There they are. And she sits a lot better. A little bit restrictive on the eyes, but hardly at all. Not a problem. And she'll sit there all day long. No problems at all. You could take this off and put it on the inside of the collar, but you have a lot more warmth with the collar on the inside of the hood. Now I am jumping around a little bit on this video, I understand, sorry. It's going to rain on me soon, so time is an issue. I just want to get it knocked out, so I'm a little bit out of sequence, sorry about that. I think another way with this hood to stop it coming down over your eyes, if you want to keep it zipped up so that you can just flip it on and flip it off as you need, I think another thing is wear a beanie or wear a bowl cap like I had there. I think that will make a difference as well and will help keep it up. But as for me, this hood is going to spend most of the time in my backpack. When I'm walking around with a pack on, and these will handle pack straps and rubbing and abrasion no problem. When I'm walking around with a backpack on, I don't like this hood on because it sits over the back and the backpack pushes it in, and it's quite a thick piece of fabric, and if it's not sitting flat it just becomes uncomfortable over time and quite a distraction. With me, maybe I'm a wuss, I don't know, but you know, things like that get me distracted very easily. Itchy wool, uncomfortable clothing. If I have a stone in my boot, other people just keep walking. With me, I got to stop and take it off, or I'll be a total nutcase by the time I finish my walk. So comfort is a big important thing for me. So this SWANNDRI, the hood, can just roll up and stay in the pocket. Pretty bulgy, but that's okay. And well, most of the time, like I will, I'll keep it in my backpack, and at night when I'm around the campfire, I'll just pull it on. Speaking of comfort, I did find two different levels of comfort between the Mosgiel and the original bush shirt. I found the original bush shirt was much more comfortable. You just pull it on over and it just sits there and you never want to take it off. It's very nice. You pull the hood up and it sits just in the right position. I find with the Mosgiel bush shirt, it's not quite as comfortable. It's a good heavyweight, comfortable garment. Yes, it is, but hasn't got the comfort for me that one there does. The big thing is around the collar here. There's a big sew seam right around the collar. So what you've got is this awesome collar that they give you, very high, covers the whole face. It's got 2 layers of wool on it. It's very nice. That meets up with the lining from the fabric, and also along here looks to be what's a reinforcing strip or something along there. And then on top of that, you've got the main body of the coat meeting as well. all of them meet up and get sewn together on that one seam. So it's quite a thick, heavy seam. And I do find, like even now, it just sits very close to the neck, and you just feel the weight of it. So I think after a bit of time, I might be, for me, you know, I might be like adjusting that and finding a bit of a distraction. But if you're wearing pack straps, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. You have your pack on, you got your pack done up snugly, your straps done up snugly, and just pull this up like that so that the pack straps hold it up a little bit like that, just holding that seam off the off your shoulders or off your collarbone, and probably no problem at all. So everything's got its pros and cons, and people find the cons or the negatives different for each person, and so for me that's just one of the negatives about this, but easily fixed. As I said, I'm going to jump around, so I'm going back to the hood. The hood is very nicely done. It doesn't come up to a peak, which I like the fact that it doesn't. It curves around the head, so it's very comfortable. I'm going to come up close. It's probably going to go out of focus, but we'll see how we go. There's a seam there. You see the sew seam there? So it's got that strip of fabric going right around there, like that. And so what it does is, it sits nicely on the head and just hugs the head. So it sits very comfortably. Let's try it like that. And that's where I found in the original bush shirt, it just, boom, you put it on and it's just like in the perfect position. Really good. Okay. And both of them have a neck tab, which I've shown before, but just secures it under the chin. Yeah, and I can see it. The neck tab here on the Mosgiel is much longer than the one on the original bush shirt. That particular original bush shirt anyway, the tab is very short. When you do it up, it is actually really constricting on the neck. You know, it's not choking you out or anything, but you haven't really got a whole lot of room there to get a scarf on or anything like that. This is a lot longer, so a lot more comfortable, but it does have a downside too, which I'll show you right now. Okay, just the downside of the neck tab. Let's do it up. The problem I have with this is, make sure everything's in position here. There we go. That big hole right there. I think you can see that in there. It's just leaves your throat just open to the elements. Everything else is very nicely covered up. You've got this awesome hood, but your throat is open to the elements, so the wind and the dampness gets straight into there. Now, it doesn't sound like much. You have a sore throat, you just tough it out. Yeah, but the problem with a sore throat out in the bush is very hard to take care of it. It's very hard to get healthy again until you get out of the bush and you can get rid of it. And so danger of sore throat is that the infection spreads down into your lungs. And so then you start ending up with some serious problems. It could really ruin your holiday. So that's a bit of a problem, and although this neck tab here is longer than the one on the bush shirt, so it's a lot more room in there, there's not a whole lot of room to get a couple layers of scarf wrapped around there. Maybe a shamag you can put in there as well, but you're not going to be able to wrap layers around. So you haven't really got that insulation value due to that the tightness or the lack of space from the neck tab and the limited amount of scarf or covering that you can put on your neck. You haven't really got that insulation value. But what I found as well, I unzip the hood and I'll just pull it over the collar and tighten it up, and that hole gets much smaller that way as the hood sits down. So I found that was a good way to get around it. But again, I'm happy I bought it. There are negatives, as there are in everything, and negatives tend to be a personal thing. But for me, they're small ones that I can overcome. I can work my way around them. Okay. Price-wise, I was happy to go into the store and pay the price I paid for this. People say Swanndris are expensive. I guess they are, but I had no problem paying for this. I think this is good value for money. I don't think it's a really awesome bargain, but I don't think it's a rip-off either. I think it's a good price for what you get, and I think it's got good features. As for the original Bush shirt, I think I mentioned it before in my other video. I think it was, back then I thought it was a little bit maybe overpriced, and I kind of feel that even more now that I've got a Mosgiel and I see the great features this Bush shirt here has. The original Bush shirt I think is overpriced. The difference in price between the two of these is $30. But with this one you get the full length lining, you get the double zip on it, the full length zip, YKK zip, you get a removable hood, you get hand warmer pockets, you know, you get quite a lot of extra features for only $30. That doesn't sound right. And so I kind of think that should be $50 to $60 cheaper. And that's just my thinking. If you disagree, please let me know and explain why in the comments. But I still think that's, for the features you get in this, I don't see why that's only $30 cheaper. It's a very, very basic garment. I've looked at prices of other garments from around the world and stuff, and like the ones coming out of the US alone are around about the same price, about the same price as this roughly, with much more features than what you get in that. So that, for sort of comparing it to internationally to other products out there in the world, it's a very basic garment, and I think it's just overpriced. It's still a great seller. If I had to buy one like that again, I would buy one. I would buy one brand new. I would think I'd be paying a bit more than I should for it, but I would still buy one brand new because they're awesome, awesome garments. And I'd also be interested if people can write into the comments about synthetic or wool. What do you prefer? Do you prefer wool? Do you prefer synthetic? Do you prefer a mixture? Do you layer them differently? You know, what are your opinions on it? I'm looking at doing a video on how I layer up as well, and I'd just like to find out what other people out there are doing. So I think that's all I have, guys, in my jump around video. Hope it's followable. Followable, I'm making my own words up. Hope it's coherent. But yeah, that's all I have. So if you have any questions, please ask. If you like another video of it, please let me know, and I'll see if I can get out and do one. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I'll see you on the next video.